It was past midnight in the middle of a rainstorm. The city streets were slick, lights reflecting off puddles as taxis rushed by, ignoring the woman sitting on the bench outside the hospital. Her tailored suit was soaked through, mascara streaked down her cheeks. She wasn't just any woman. This was Evelyn Carter, CEO of one of the biggest companies in the city. To the outside world, she was untouchable, powerful, cold. The type of woman who always seemed in control. But tonight she looked anything but powerful. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "Please don't leave me here alone." Everyone who passed glanced at her but quickly turned away. Nobody wanted to get involved. She looked broken, and people feared brokenness. Then someone stopped, a man with tired eyes holding the small hand of a little girl no older than 7. His jacket was cheap, his shoes worn. He looked like he had already lived 3 lives before this night. His name was Daniel, a single dad working double shifts just to keep food on the table. He crouched down, meeting Evelyn's eyes. "Are you okay, ma'am?" For a second, her pride wanted to snap back. "I don't need help." That was her old self, the CEO, the woman who never asked for anything. But her lips trembled instead, and all she could say was, "My father, he's in there. They don't know if he'll make it. And I can't face it alone." Daniel didn't know her. He didn't know her story. But he knew what it meant to lose someone. His wife had died years ago, leaving him to raise his daughter on his own. Loneliness was a language he spoke fluently. He looked at his daughter, who squeezed his hand and whispered, "Daddy, we can stay with her, right?" So Daniel sat down on that cold bench right beside Evelyn. His daughter crawled into Evelyn's arms as if she had known her forever. And for the first time in years, Evelyn felt warmth, genuine, uncalculated warmth. Hours passed. The storm outside raged, but inside that hospital a stranger's kindness built a fragile bridge between 2 broken worlds. Evelyn finally whispered, "Why are you doing this? You don't even know me." Daniel smiled softly. "Because once I was the one sitting alone, and no one came." That single sentence broke her. The CEO, who never cried in front of anyone, cried that night in front of a single dad and his daughter. When the doctor finally came out with news, her father had made it through the surgery. Evelyn's knees nearly gave out. She turned to thank Daniel, but he was already standing ready to leave quietly, like kindness often does. But Evelyn stopped him. "Wait, please. Don't leave me here alone. Not tonight." And so they stayed, talking, sharing stories, 2 people from worlds so far apart, yet connected by something simple and universal: compassion. In the days that followed, Evelyn didn't just return to her office as the powerful CEO everyone feared. She returned changed. She set up a foundation for single parents, offering scholarships, housing support, and job opportunities. And yes, it was Daniel who became her first advisor. Because sometimes the most powerful shifts in life don't happen in boardrooms or through business deals. They happen on cold hospital benches during storms, when a stranger chooses kindness over indifference. Evelyn never forgot that night, and neither did Daniel. If this story touched your heart, remember this: one act of kindness, no matter how small, can rewrite someone's entire story. Don't underestimate the power you hold to make a difference in someone's darkest moment. Weeks turned into months, and Evelyn found herself thinking about Daniel and his little girl more than she expected. For years, her life had been schedules, meetings, and deadlines. But now she found herself carving out time for something new: visits to a modest neighborhood where laughter echoed from a small apartment. Daniel's daughter, Lily, would come running to the door, arms wide open, shouting, "Miss Evelyn," as though she were family. Evelyn didn't understand why it felt so natural, why she felt lighter every time she sat at Daniel's kitchen table, sipping coffee that wasn't from some high-end cafe but tasted better because of the company. Daniel, always humble, never asked her for anything, not even when she began including him in her company's charity programs. But she noticed how his eyes softened every time Lily laughed. That was wealth, she realized. Not money, not power, just love. One evening, after spending hours with them, Evelyn admitted softly, "I've spent my whole life building an empire, but it never felt like home. Yet here, in this small space with you two, it feels different." Daniel looked at her, surprised. "Evelyn, you don't need to explain anything. You've done more for me and Lily than I could ever repay." She shook her head, tears pricking her eyes. "You don't understand. You gave me back something I didn't even know I'd lost. Humanity." The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was full, brimming with unspoken gratitude and something that felt like hope. In time, Evelyn's father grew strong again, and he too met Daniel and Lily. He saw the way his daughter's eyes lit up around them and realized something money could never buy had entered her life. For the first time, Evelyn allowed herself to imagine a future beyond boardrooms, a life where kindness wasn't just a principle. It was her daily reality.